Abusianfo yaba munyina akwa abasono konde ba RAZ MEDIA GH so abusia ene your first time ena waba platform we so but modern say we subscribe ama your channel no na channel no akọ nanim abusia ene ye wonsem bi e de mamo nsem a efa Sammy Gyamfy ho na ye de ntobase ene be ye adwuma no asema wonyina ne se na anu Sammy Gyamfy ekoma press conference bi ebiebie na no mu kan se according to ono de wahu ene de ogidi no ampipi amanyokuo no ananado danko akufuado na dan no saapre wemu appoint brigadier bi ayefre ne opoku say onkoda center command ewo Ashanti region in Kumasi of the military said de beya omode the armed force no bedi bone e de ama ampipi amanyokuo no said de obeya obewene Sammy Gyamfy e de asemwe beto ho no ade anche sokra ena Ghana soldier for the IGP, the police command of the Ghana Police Service. Aba bonten omwabe to one in kesepa de mama Sammy Gyamfy ne nkrofo say omunya de omuye no. Na so omunnim na eda ye beto aba no omudi nkwasi asem based on nsem omo ahya ase omo ka. They will show them where the power lay. And see why ena Abronye nso na bi e de omo ho beje asemwe mu na ensama na bi aka e de a kire Sammy Gyamfy ene ne NDC apparatus so me anu e tene wo say nyina nkonkotie na Abronye ni submission no mu no osanso de nsem bi go abontre a sere esanso ya reho yes Sammy Gyamfy ko bono region so kwa akoye campaign na okoduru ho no eniema ono ankasa de na ne hu ya na ma ne hu se omo awie eni nti odi America ba Accra tentem so ba be press conference because we so omo awie so he's trying to mold the field say the beya ni nkrofo no se ye bobo aba na do danko akufo na bedi akire enwene a ombenya bibi e de agina so aka omo agu abonten se mprako so omo nko na omo nko ye dede se omo NG resource no ntum abusu ansam no doso into the yanko ne nkonkotie nsama sabio nsama Sammy Gyamfy ekaaye ewo Captain Smart ni show so akire no na ye the response from the IGP, the Ghana Armed Forces, Nana B and Abronye, General Secretary of MPP in the Bono region. Yanko nkonkotie ba ye besa ya to aso ene your first time waba RAZ Media so a mesra say subscribe to the channel na be part of our team. Medawase ene obra ode abetra ha. Yenkono konkotie Sammy Gyamfy nsem o kae eno achi na ye the next response no abremo.
Hello Sammy. Hello Sammy, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kojo.
Na bibi aboko there.
Una media say minia.
No. Me who why a press conference? We na Sammy asam na onka dem odo.
Oh, Kojo, no credit to the biasa na tie. No credit sem bi wo ha emu edro, but I was say yeka because on mine ho do ehia ye pa.
Baba asam no mu mai. Brigadier General.
Wa wonim saka enna du nwotwe. Na ye kwa akoto aba. Na batu we abatu a Ghana for ehia ye pa. Because eno ne akwenya ye wo se ye betumi esi agina ye pa den sisapa. Ensisa ye pa ebeba ya brobom. Enti Ghana ni bi ehwe ni mu se obenya akwenya na watu aba asumdue kwanso. Na pere yo aye adwuma. Na de Ghana for dodo so omo pese odi o man nanim no. Otimi be di o man nanim. De Ghana for wo mpeso ahodo a wo Ghana so. De mrase bedwafo no. Omutimi be ye mrase bedwafo. Enti eno ho ntoabo na amanyoku ahodo a ye wo Ghana ye bo ye nka bi nhiem. But young konkotia from our credible intelligence sources in the military no. Na say we be a friend of Michael Upuku. The full name is Michael Kwadwo Upuku. And now I know say Oko Ashanti region, Kumasi to be precise, a one or tia. Or you so ni penya Akufuado amani post ni dibre ne se oye general officer commanding for Central Command of the Ghana Armed Forces. Let's say asoja for oye omo hye ya o ma cheche Ghana mu Northern Command, Southern Command and a Central Command.
Pacho asana obeto aso no former Colonel Opoko no Blue Gate na asem na wo kan.
Yes, Colonel Opoko wo Blue Gate.
Okay, to us.
Ojo me de pa se guni papa no. Colonel Opoko ye wo Blue Gate 2019 31st January ye call ye by elections. Ewa ya so West were gone. Na ye nyina ya boa ye won se oh ye hwa ma bibia ya sumdwe ye nkonko hwa. MPP ntitira fo a omo na SS omo ye national security for omo leader ye DSP Azugu na Abronye bi a oye MPP titire ni vigilante ye friend double edi omanim omo kita tuo e de mask akata wanim e call la baleshi NDC parliamentary candidate ni fie e ko tutuo e prepare nipa e bu nipa e bu sitting member of parliament Sam George ma ye capture on TV so no e yesa Colonel Opoko a o ma command ma say nyambransem ne course na sem ne yeka samre no 2019 31st January ani ya was West for by election no na ya director of operations e wo national security Blue Gate so the near now also double as director of operations ono ena sa team aye form SWAT ohwe omo a omo kodi sa nyambransem omo ye MPP ntitire for a MPP mu Delta Forces Invisible Forces omo tsenu omo wasotware ne de keka ho no ono na ye omo leader enti omampenya Kufuado ankasa che commission so omo hwehwe ayawa so West Ogon basa ye si ye nimu commission ni ye ni hwehwe mu no omo to omo sa frɛ sa Colonel Opoko no okoye no se si tuntum atare fita tie for be kai okoye a o se oh ye course ni nyina o take responsibility on na ye because DSP Azugu SNC na ono na man kwan man directive so omo nkoye de omo ye no enti commission ye ni hwehwe mu no omo report oko check paragraph 3.4 and 3.5 wa asemu e wo ho no minua ehu commission ni hu se ahurika semni oye ne basabasa ye wudi semu a e course so ayawa so West wo no by election no eye Colonel Opoko ena na o hyase enti potoka se mo ka se ono no mo de so bobo as a person with ultimate responsibility for the year. Like I say, ono ni nipa wo share kira o ma sa hurika se ni nyina koso ma ye prepare nipa ena mi nipa bebro mu ntimi nante obi ani hu ade because of choir Colonel Opoko ma MPP nti trafo ebu ni prepare wo mo enti commission no and then the commission of inquiry so there it has the powers of a high court and omo timi make recommendations amramu no etimi de ye adwuma omo recommend say was Colonel Opoko ye twena so omo can say he should be reprimanded but omampenya Kufuado na mzo no na se na chi no say ni kutupa mani ko di say nyambransem no Kufuado e de white paper bae e be clear papa na asotwe a mi short commission can say Colonel Opoko no yamfa no yan koten kotia sa Colonel Opoko yi ene na Kufuado ba womia ne MPP fo o mama ne so from colonel to brigadier general and so from brigadier general no o ma sounds where you know fi SWAT one and no Blue Gate national security no e de na ko Central Command of the Ghana Armed Forces. Let's just say the central part of Ghana, soldier for Wunyano, on a young opinion, and the Central Command headquarters, Kumasi, the capital of Ashanti region. Now, and yes, they are over the call actually about 12 female or more than higher July 2024. Now, usually, why are you in that say? I go for the sorry, I will say, oh, handy over Mama Hamada, oh, handy over Mama Hamano. Sir, the name of Obonia, on ne big Opoko Yabo. Or Senechi, and I walk out and say, on train me more vigilantes, I was to any other military facilities.
Say, I no casino, a idea, ye training crop for son of a soldier.
Yes, oh, the pictures are there, I will share some with you. He's training them our military facilities. Just like
Sammy
MPP vigilantes, they train them and use them for the Ayawaso West Ogun by election violence. You know, so now we're training new set of people.
Hey, Sammy. Somewhere I know you. If you say military facilities, a war memo hano. And I did one and your soldier for Akogu on a yet water to one said a bayer, one bayer to trust
already an import yet. We have the pictures. Almost at the end. Akoswa. And I know the captain, what you are so that from you have your intelligence. If there is a journalist in Ghana who deep true sources in all agencies, you are number one. And I know that if you check, you will see. Training a course get giddy. Nanya training kwa akodi any true any military uniforms, ballot papers in ano. Papa we ni fie and then was store.
Ballot papers saying.
Oh, abano. Oh, they want to be mbabon ti awon o de be won be BT and this anyama. Want to be there. Omo de nanim na eje ade na keke. The why you hunted the chira. Obroni say he is a mastermind or the master brain behind that evil election rigging plot. And you run out near friend Kenelupuku and they are in a brigadier general. And in the fear, and after all your security zone, a soldier for buying 24/7. And one of modern store Yemenina. Tanabaya, Obian, the some Johnny Bian TV call, Obian TV day, and call. Now, can you say, at Dana, Obia, a short commission, say Entrinaso. Yabona baswa in the brigadier general. Ada no be a wet tip bonye pepe nipa wa yawa so west wagon. Yedi position kese se wo so jemu amano as the general commanding officer for central command. Ada na about what fimu near the position na mano. Na yamfa na nko baby afa Asante region Kumasi to be precise. Na all coordinated central command. Adentia. Enye kwa omu ni mpobo ni omaye den omabo. Na akwano ye di dinechi. And ya gather the information. Me no can say oni mboni obedinti no ordinema akwakwatena UK. Ana ono so akufo ado ahye ne bo say oh otimi ye we manua. Te said your year ayawa so de ne man no na oje o taking responsibility no or a hero. And then one about in the brigadier general and commanding officer of central command there. And the akufo ado say 2024 is one. Obu peso pre nipa bu nipa kunkum nipa eye de omo ye ne tachiman south ne ayawa so west wogon ni bi no matimi de wi abanimo na kufu ado ahye de bo se oya obema ni CDS and in prempre CDS o pompe pra na kwa we omu no over na hwe nyere ordinary my form because ono oje ne command and then the directive direct from Akufu Ado who is the commander in chief o se ni kutupa se onwi abam na ofiri se ye nim no ofiri se obi ani di wuntumi mu achi any Abronye mwechi ba ye de yenim no yenim de woye na na ya pa no hontoma so na ba ya Ghana fo nyina be hu no say he is the main master brain behind the MPP's evil election rigging plan na ofiri say yenim na yenim ye ni didi oye bi achi na this time around ye ni da ho sa agba wo ho onyame nti any ahweyi nti any da ho nti de o ma hyehye no e ma so ne e ma so china abatuo we be ya surudwe na de Ghana fo pe e no bedi nkunim na waba bi di o man so am o man afa ne to mapefra nipa bonifo bia wa na adwen se o de basa ye eni oye ni beba Ghana on be pre kunkum agents of NDC ne supporters no enya dia ye be ma ne sa kwan na enti ye dia sem no e kwa kodan ye wradam pare o ye IGP no anso e na abatoyi yi ahobambo won se nyina hye ne nsa chairman of election security task force ono ne ye hwe no ono no man se bre hye ne nsa. They said your boy man a son of Abatuo Yasumbi no. On na Abatuo we Enyasumbi. Yama police for you medjuma no mo ban. Na se bibi mu ye dia soja fo aye den abam. Enum po no e wo so mo ko under police. Na omu take directives from the IGP. No mo making sure say nipa bone for to say brigadier general opoku de ye ma ne men Abatuo no kra because ono o te se abohuriye moja empa de tim da adwenboni aye ne tim ni na koma mu ma na ono no di bra Akufu Ado dia promising nti so obekum nipa kra de age tumia obekum nipa de age tumia ma MPP. That is all we are saying and yak came in sense some trouble mo so mu di mani e be di akire na ye misa Akufo Addo say asoja fo bebrebe eyeden na papa we nko na ade di breakers ama no abrawa wo commission wo say say owura no onye ni papa onye soja ni papa ono na ma hurika sem ne basabasa ye ko so wa ya wa so we so go a Ghana de che bebre ye people mo mo di dem e na me no ka say ade na nipa we ya no akwakofa na kwa Ashanti region so nko da asrafo nyina no at this time na osori a oni wuntumi mu na ye meeting ni fie no mo tena plan all the things oni ba wo mienu bia ye friend chief ensem no yanka ni nyina ya tete bi se na be ya so mu di achinya ya dia dance ye ho beba because he is in meetings yeni ba wo mienu no mo ka no want to be personal assistant mo ka mo plan sa nyema no na ye nsuro because onyame ni si hene en na te se di onyame apa wo nto ba maboni o maye asoja fododo na omo ni nyi hu aba be ka kire no sa na de omo be ye bia omo ye ni suma se kra onyame enti omada pa be dead
Sammy etu a wo kase omode ma sankrofo a omo training omo military facilities ne other places no mo so me sure say mo nye asrafo eku mo ye political party kwan ben so apart from mo tro no akoma IGP ne other stakeholders no kwan ben so pa na mo fa etime se ade yi no menim se bi o ha won't be kan afie so
ye de ne say Abronye say will shine sunlight on the activities of these miscreants. Na Ghana fu nyina hu omo. Ye kan Peace Council wa, Kale Bishop Conference wa, ye nana Asante Mayura otumfo say tutu ababiu a otoso mienu watibi. Ye de asere ba kodan mpanyifo wo kuru mu anyina. Eno ye the first step because obonifo bia wodi bone a wodi nisumu ase. Ye kani ato no so a na afi de waya hweyi. Nti that's the first step. The second step is to say IGP ni CDS ya de cartel komo mo na se mi o ma ye mu hwehwemo ye developmental partners US for UK for ECOWAS for ye de papa we boni a wadi Ghana ene kwa wo bo so obedi mo ye de ni nyina kwa akodan omo na ye nso te say de mekan no to say Azuma Nelson abatu we ye referee o se yeboto because ye ni say referee na obedi match no ono ne MPP omo nyina omo suggestion ba akọ eno nti ye ahweyi nkwa ye fa polling agents a omunim omadwuma omunim abato mra ne abato nhyehyɛ ba mu akokodrom betim de abobalo boxes on by na nhyehyɛ bia wo se digu akwa mu bo ye party for ne agents wo by so na be ya we will never again become victims to brutalities from these hooligans no ye de nhyehyɛ ne begu akwa mu ye de ye pasumdwe na yanko ye bibia de basabasa ye ne oye ne beba ne mmom se obi se obekuya na obi prepare de yebetumi aya ne se de famudi a constitution amamna ne ma ye se ye mo ye ho ban no ye bebo ye ho ban na ya famra kwanso a bekisho se sa nipa bonefo ne mra nyomu bedi enti kenelo poku de odi gare botoma boni a wadi na ya waso west ogon no obebu ho akonta he will never go scot free na boni a why na adwen se 2024 is obedi because of Boshibia Yadiaseno, we will do everything within our power and in accordance with law to ensure that Enyadi Bebasune Abasuchina.
Meaning, sir, and you may pressure bebao, so almost every media house would want to speak with you. Can I book an appointment with you to have you one-on-one tomorrow morning on marching?
Kojo, so would you mean your opinion? What's a mini choice?
It's a channel pa 80K
producer. Many producer Bekasa.
A channel pa 80K minu.
Me bacho mate for I'll be there.
Sammy Gyamfy me da say. Sammy Gyamfy kasama fokuni Emma the National Democratic Congress.
Unia 95.1 FM. 95.1 FM.
Yes. So the life house will have a 65. So that will Yes, we are going to go. So, Sammy, we are having so, can I take pictures? And the one you took with the other can that's why I'm so early notice so that I'm not some of my expression.
Yes, I said, NDC youth, and Asia, of what's a branch, NDC youth, any generation. Now, boy, I hope for election 2024, and you said December 7th, the electoral commission will declare one declare any NDC for easy, the more warning. No one else on our way. Then you know what some are doing. Yet, you crowd of you, and a piano. Yet, you crowd of you, and crowd of you. As you say, you're quite a boy, and Bobo Bian will say you. No more, you man out to 1 hour, or be able to declare about what you feel. I will police in so young gentlemen. The boy who seriously. I'm more in the electoral commission. Will you mistake that for the one I'm betting? What was a boy who seriously? December 7th. You never declare. You declare party behind the Ghana. Can't see what life behind the Ghana. I can't see. Yes, I could get a family. I am talking about buying Bonaba. We are mistake. 2024 December 7th. And this is a family. Mupo, Yana Papa. The Jones is any of power. And this is youth. Of what's a branch. Then you can say, Obama, that was a semi Midonyami. Gyamfy Wincho. Say, would you grow a Midonyami? Mutipeti. Now, being so bad enough. Why being so bad enough? Pile no bebe na gina wonya kwa ngura play no ya beto o mina nsa na wakọ easy 7 December udi agura ya de boba na be chase bullet so nyame ya de boba na be face bullet no last time no just so be do agura be do no ya de ya kan say omo a wodi oni ato omo so ati omo say so omo do omo ni mu ba omo do omo chi be kwa ya boy come on papa you know no bi abu a say ya kwatu no wa ga wale
I am telling you here that I will only come in this 7th December within the Achimansa enclave. When police tells me that they cannot, and when I come, I will not go. I will beat you and the hell with you. I always want people to try me. So those of us seated here, any of you can try me on that day, or try any of my men on that day. When you go to the polling station, just cast your vote, go home, go and sleep. Thank you. When it is 5 p.m., come, they will tell you where to stand. They will count for you. If you win, clap, go home. Then you will not have any problem with me and then my people. We are not going to sit down for just 2 or 3 people to distort the peace that Ghana is enjoying. That is why I don't vote. I don't want to belong to anybody, but I want to beat everybody. We have a duty as religion or religious heads, as security heads, as family heads, as individuals, to protect the good things that we have as a country. And the only good thing we have as a country now is the peace that we are enjoying. Because with the peace, everything can go on. If we distort it now, nothing can go on. See, you will be hungry more than me. And it is a fact. Because when there is war, I will still feed. I will get food from everywhere because I'll come and beat you and collect your food. And I will feed. And it is a fact. I am hungry. You think if I see food with you and I have weapon, I will not kill you and take it. I will do. So it means that you will suffer more than me. And I don't want you to suffer. So I will beat the hell out of you. So please, if you want us to continue
the National Communications Officer of the NDC convened a press conference where he made baseless, frivolous allegations that the MPP is planning to rig the December 7th elections. Among his outlandish claim, he alleged that Brigadier General Opoku, the General Officer Commanding of the Central Command of Ghana Armed Forces, as part of a supposed scheme involving ballot stuffing, swapping of ballot boxes and pig sheet, and other clandestine activities to tilt the balance of victory in favor of the MPP ahead of December 7th elections. These allegations, he claimed, are targeted at the Ashanti region, beginning from the special voting exercise scheduled for December 2nd. Permit me to say this, that the statement is, the allegations made by the National Communication Officer and the NDC are entirely baseless, devoid of any iota of credible evidence, and represent yet another desperate attempt by the NDC to raise tension and distract the people of Ghana from their own misdeeds. You level against a reputable army officer baseless allegations. You do not provide any, not even a single evidence, and yet you want us to take you serious. I have said that nobody can rig these elections. Look, we will vote at the polling station, we will count at the polling station, collation will be done, the new patriotic party shall emerge victorious. His Excellency the Vice President will be the next president. Nobody can foment any sort of trouble, whatever form, whatever shape. I dare, if you want, try. Nobody. We will vote in peace. We will cast our ballot in peace. Ghana will be united. Ghana will not fall. And I'm telling you, the new patriotic party shall emerge victorious. Indeed, the NDC's communications officer and the NDC failed to substantiate their claim with facts or evidence, demonstrating that this is nothing more than a fabrication designed to divert attention from NDC's own wicked machinations to destabilize the Ashanti region, all because it is a stronghold of the MPP. Ladies and gentlemen, the NDC's desperation is palpable. Their press conference is part of a broader strategy to create unnecessary tension, fear, and panic in the Ashanti region by manufacturing an atmosphere of insecurity. Unfortunately, in doing so, the NDC has stopped to tarnishing the hard-earned reputation of Brigadier General Opoku and the Central Command of the Ghana Armed Forces. Such baseless attacks on the integrity of the armed forces are reckless and dangerous. And you recall, it's this same National Communications Officer who, before the 2020 election, said that all security personnel recruited during the regime of the New Patriotic Party, they should know that their tenure is coterminous with that of the New Patriotic Party. And so, if you were recruited, so we are talking about the over 100,000 security personnel recruited under the New Patriotic Party. This reckless statement from the NDC's National Communication Officer suggested that in an unlikely event that the NDC is back, they are going to terminate the appointment of every immigration officer, every police officer, every military officer, every prison officer, all security officers who were recruited from 2017 to 2024. Such reckless statement. That is the same person saying, throwing all of these baseless allegations around. Let it be known that the MPP will not tolerate any such devilish plans by the NDC. We call on the Inspector General of Police, IGP, and all security and intelligence agencies to closely monitor individuals like COP Kofi Boakye, who have been identified as a central figure in these destabilizing schemes. The MPP is also serving notice that any individual who attempts to foment chaos during the December 7th election, especially in the Ashanti region, should think twice, as such actions will be met not equal force, but with much bigger force to protect the peace, stability, and democratic process of our nation.
Keep almost all their flagship promises to Ghanaians, but they have totally run down Ghana's economy, leading to unprecedented hardships and an ever-worsening standard of living. Ghanaians need the experience and steady pair of hands His Excellency John Dramani Mahama offers. His proven track record of sound economic management and the right transformational vision is what Ghana needs at a time such as this to steer us out of the current abyss we find ourselves. We in the NDC are convinced that Ghanaians will vote for change on December 7th. You can say amen to that. Amen. Because the people of Ghana will choose the experienced, tried and tested nation builder, John Dramani Mahama, over the dangerous and fraudulent experiment called Alhaji Bawumia. The MPP knows this, and seeing defeat staring at them in the face, have resorted to dark and evil plans to rig the election through ballot stuffing, the swapping of ballot boxes, pink sheets, and other shady activities, using willing and dangerous collaborators like Brigadier General Opoku and the 2BN commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Nyako Osai. Ladies and gentlemen, Ghana is all we have. Hence the NDC's unconditional commitment to peace. Anyone who plots or attempts to subvert the will of the people by undermining the sanctity of the upcoming election is an enemy of the state and must be dealt with in accordance with law. We all owe it a sacred duty to God and country to expose and stop such characters so as to ensure that the peace and democracy we enjoy today is sustained. Thank you very much for your attention, and may God bless our homeland Ghana. It's Calabash. If he says that he will chew a crab, you don't have to argue with him, because there isn't much of a difference between a crab and a calabash. We have shown you the track record of the man we are talking about, Brigadier General Opoku. You all saw what happened at Ayawaso West Wogon. It was the first time in the history of Ghana that we saw so-called national security operatives wearing masks, armed to the teeth with sophisticated weapons, brazenly and openly assaulting innocent, unarmed civilians, maiming people. You saw that. Today there are many people, there are some people who can't walk. They have suffered lifetime deformities because of the brutalities meted to them by those MPP hoodlums. And you heard the confession of the man. He said he takes responsibility. The Elmi Short Commission found him liable for those atrocities and recommended that he should be reprimanded. Are you not worried that the president did not implement that recommendation? And instead of, in what country can a man like this man receive a promotion from Colonel to Brigadier General? In what country can a man like this man be rewarded after maiming people, brutalizing people, be rewarded with the position of General Officer Commanding of the Central Command? In what country? His mere appointment is a scandal, because this is a man who should be facing sanctions and not be enjoying promotion. And as for evidence, these matters are based on credible intelligence we have picked. We know what we are talking about. Unfortunately, the MPP is in office, so they will not allow for a search to be conducted in the presence of the media at his residence. But the media, you have reporters in Kumasi. If he has nothing to hide, he should open his doors today for you to go around his house and check. If he has nothing to hide. But they are in power. The man has been rewarded. There are soldiers guarding his house 24/7, holding arms. So you don't expect that they are going to open their doors and say, come and take pictures. No, they won't do that. But we know what we are talking about. Our intelligence is rock solid, and his track record bears our assertions out. It's as simple as that. And if you doubt us, then the question is, of all the people in the military, how come that it is only this man who was found worthy of the position of General Commanding Officer for Central Command? And how come that this appointment was given to him in 2024? Why not Northern Command? Why Central? Why Ashanti region? You think it's a mere coincidence? Well, we don't think so. So Ghanaians are discerning. They can put 1 + 1 together. They can make their own judgment. But as for us, we will continue to monitor them very, very keenly, because we know and believe that the intelligence we have is rock solid. Yes.
Right. My name is Ube. I report for
Central. I think you got your answer. We are excited that the Member of Parliament for Memphis Central has made that decision. The interests of our party and the decisions of the party always hold supreme, and it's important that all members comply. And so the party is united in Memphis Central behind the duly elected parliamentary candidate of the party, Mrs. Joanna Kujo. And I believe that Honorable Kwasi fully supports President Mahama as well as the candidate for the NDC for the presidential election. So you have your answer. And there was a question about whether or not we intend to present any evidence to the CDS. I believe that upon our petition being brought before the CDS and the IGP, there may be a call for further and better particulars. And at that level, we will share the details of our intel with them. These kind of security intelligence are not matters that you share on TV and radio. But when we meet them, when they give us that audience, we are happy to share that with them, because we need to, in the public domain, at least protect our sources. So that is what I can say. And I think that same answer also applies to the last question we had as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a summary of the press conference we did today. I'm going to do a brief translation in the Akan language, and let me say this finally. You all, as media men, have a role to play in this year's election. You are the fourth estate of the realm, and you should be interested in the peace and stability of Ghana and in the sanctity, the credibility of the electoral process. You've seen this man. Once upon a time, 2019, Colonel Michael Lupuku, today Brigadier General Michael Lupuku. So you have a conscience and you have your own ethics of your profession. Ask yourself whether this man is fit to be the General Officer Commanding of the Central Command of the Ghana Armed Forces. Ask yourself if he is even fit to wear the uniform he's wearing today, given the atrocities he supervised against innocent civilians at Ayawaso West Wuogon and the recommendations of the Short Commission on Sin. I believe that every reasonable man will agree with us that this man is a threat to the peace and stability of Ghana and a threat to peaceful elections in Ghana. And he must be held accountable for the atrocities he has already committed at Ayawaso West Wuogon and not rewarded with such a critical position. And so for us as a political party interested in having a credible election, a peaceful election, and like I said, our commitment to Ghana having a peaceful election is unconditional. And that is why we are saying this guy should be nowhere near the security architecture for this country, because he represents a very dangerous threat to peaceful elections and the stability of Ghana.
When you have your uncle, unfortunately today there's only one uncle here, so when you have your uncle and you have brothers and sisters all in one place, it gives you a lot of comfort, and you find it difficult to be formal. So forgive me if I ended up being formal. I didn't cause it. The relationship between myself and your very good self across the room might be held responsible. So without much protocol, I want to add my voice to the words of welcome that preceded me from our director in charge of public affairs and also our director general in charge of operations. Second, I want to say that today the purpose, much as is about the elections, is no more about the details of our plans. We will have another meeting with you in terms of the details of our plan and the assurances that you need to have for yourself, for your families, and for the people you serve. But because my two other officers and also my uncle and my kid brother have spoken about the fact that you want to hear a little about the elections, I'll be very snappy on that and then come back to the main reason why we invited you. As for the elections, it is a saying that agrobeswa efranopa. In effect, if truly we are going to see a good show, you should look at the beginning, even though it does not always happen as such. But we are committed because of the efforts we put in our planning towards these elections. We are clear in our minds where the challenges are, where the issues are, and we have sufficiently put in measures to address them. And if you can see from all the work we've done since this election process started in earnest, from all the Electoral Commission's activities to date, you will see that there is truly an effective and efficient security plan in place, whose effectiveness has been strengthened by the support and collaboration of all stakeholders, including your very good self. So for that reason, we are grateful. The service is grateful to you. The National Election Security Task Force, comprising all the security agencies, are grateful to you. And more so, Ghana, that you serve, through your information and gatekeeper role, is grateful. You can never be left out of the equation for it to be balanced. Without you, the equation of ensuring that our democratic dispensation becomes the envy of others will not balance. So we want you to be aware that we hold you in high esteem. Thank you for being there for Mother Ghana. And let's do this together and make this election a success. So you will see that compared to previous elections, the tension in the environment is different and relatively manageable. And at times, if you look at it across the matters of democracy, you see that even the tension in their environment during the election is more than what we are experiencing in our country. In fact, today I played host to a very important person from Kenya, and he walked into my office and he said, until I came to your office and you're talking about elections, I didn't know Ghana was having elections in the next 2 weeks. And the calmness of the environment, the less tension in the environment, is the credit to every Ghanaian that we must be proud of. So you see that because of the things we put in place, and your support and the support of the larger community and other stakeholders, we are gradually getting to the end of a campaigning cycle or period where we haven't seen much of the things that put us on tenterhooks. Let us finish hard and prove a point to the rest of Africa that truly Ghana is always a trailblazer. And let us use our collective achievement to let the black man, and for that matter African, shine in the eyes of the rest of the world. Let's finish hard on the campaigning. Then when you come to the D-Day, it's another leg. Let's double our commitment, which we are doing from the security point of view. That is why I keep referring to a 5,430 something or 40 something page document, a blueprint, a deployment plan for only the D-Day. That demonstrates the amount of effort, commitment, and energies we put in place in ensuring that we work together with you and other stakeholders to make this election a one of a kind in terms of peace, security, law, and order. The credit will be for all of us. So let us all get on board. Then on the D-Day, in terms of deployment across the polling stations, we are there. Across the hotspots, we are there. Across the collation centers, we are there. And also across patrols and rapid response, we are there. We are currently working with the telcos to assign to us a dedicated number that will be used in this room. We will share that with you, share that with all the political parties, share that with all the stakeholders, so that wherever you find yourself, when there is a situation and the situation you think that is not being managed well, and you need intervention at the very highest, you can, through calling that number, assess myself directly and assess any of the commissioners and the team members on the ground. And we are going to use an engagement approach to handle the situation by bringing on board all the stakeholders at the very highest level, so that at the end of the day, any situation that normally starts very small, then because of lack of perfect mechanism for resolving it, it gets out of hand, we will virtually eliminate it. Let me explain that probably better. Normally what we've seen at the polling station, something will happen, something very trivial, that need a little patience and a little engagement to iron out the differences. It will be more handled, and at times the security personnel on the ground will do his very best, and so you have issues with party officials, agents, and others trying to create problems. When that happens and it comes to our attention, we will call to their grounds from here, get the regional commander, other senior officers on grounds on the phone, get the political parties from their national level, their district level, constituency level, also on the phone, and find out what exactly is the matter on the ground. And it may come in multiples, but because the dedicated line has core transferring capacity or capability, we'll be able to be dealing with multiple issues at the same time, because as soon as it comes, we will then refer it. A commissioner will be on it. He may call a general secretary of the two parties or national organizers of the two parties. He will call an agent of the parties on the ground, and we look at the issue. And when they get to know that the very top is helping them to solve it, they'll end up not taking matters into their own hands before we go in there and reactively respond to a situation that has gotten out of hand. So a lot of thinking is going into this whole process and trying to look at all the possible issues that can bring problems and find a very peaceful mechanism to resolving them in a manner that will help us to make sure that at the end of the day, little misunderstanding that may come, the way they are resolved to the satisfaction of everybody will lead to no problem in terms of any violence. The other point that we keep also saying, also to the people who think that they can probably come out making statements to intimidate and do all that, we want to tell them that life will become very uncomfortable for them. So they shouldn't even try. Because at the end of the day, when you do anything and de-escalation fails, you do anything and engagement fails, when we come and will come with the full force of the law in a manner that dignifies us as a people, please don't complain. And it is here that we want to seek your support as we do that, in a way that the people will know that at the end of the day, if the police also get it right, they have people to speak for them. Than the normal issue that when we get it right, it's no news, it's normal. But as soon as we seem to got it wrong, even if the facts are now clear, it's a big news. Let's help ourselves to avoid that. So in summary, in terms of the preparation for the election, this is just the excerpt I want to give you to be comfortable and use it to tell your people who listen to you across the country that Ghana will continue to enjoy the peace that it has been enjoying during this period of the election. And even that peace, because of the way all of us will work together to prosecute this election in a manner that winners will know that they have won, losers will also know that they have lost, and they have lost fairly, and therefore they have no business trying to incite anybody to do anything that will disturb the peace. Will be clear in their mind, and there will be no motivation for them to do that, and this country will continue to enjoy the peace that we cherish so dearly, for which we have become the envy of the rest of the continent. Now let me speak to the reason why we are here today. We are here today because of you. We know the critical role that you are playing in this country, and we know how critical that role has become during these particular elections. And for that matter, we are concerned about your safety and security. So we decided to call you and let you know what we have put in place to give you the peace of mind for you to be able to go about your duties without any fear of thinking that something will happen to you or happen to your household or happen to the institution that you work. So that is the main purpose. And we are doing it in a manner that one of my colleagues will speak to in terms of the 6 or 7 points that we will put in place to work with you. This time, a little different from what you have been experiencing in the past. And when we are able to work together on this line, we can assure you, you yourself will have more confidence to go out there and do your job. You have more confidence to operate from the facilities that you work with. And you have more confidence to close from work and go to home safely without thinking of any harm being done to you.
Acknowledging the Deputy Chair Finance, Deputy Chair Operations, Commission Secretary and Directors of NCCE Civic Education. These dialogues are important fixtures on the NCC's election year calendar and fulfill the requirements regarding functions of the Commission as stated in our Enabling Act, National Commission for Civic Education Act 1993, Act 452. The political parties, traditional authority, security apparatus in the district, religious leaders, local government, and other leadership structures in the district. The NCC is happy to announce the successful commencement of the 2024 parliamentary candidates dialogues across the 275 constituencies of the country. These dialogues are part of an ongoing commitment to fostering an informed electorate and promoting peaceful, issue-based elections in Ghana. The NCCE Parliamentary Candidates Dialogues, PCDs, are platforms for interaction at the constituency level and provides avenues for candidates to articulate their vision and policies for the constituency they want to lead and engage with constituents on issues of national concern.
Sent you with the copy of the final certified voters register for the 2024 election. Thank you very much.
Our flag bearer, our presidential candidate, His Excellency Al-Hajj Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, would be the next president of the Republic. From all indications, up, down the country, we are winning the presidential elections, and then we're also going to have a clear majority. The chaotic scenes perpetuated by the NDC in Parliament will be the thing of the past. The New Patriotic Party will have a clear majority in Parliament.
What? No, as a second, ni bia or sheba bia no. Opie na wo den so na ni preso na otona ba edema Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Any MPP parliamentary candidate bia contest or conference bia. Abawe oyenba abatwa ye kwa to say you pay free education, and I say you pay free education. So what you say?
Yeah.
So 2 years here, I am number 1. Number umiane that number 1 no. A class of pay free education. What and this year, a class of pay free education, and I will tell you why. Niente America say. What is the NDC be at radio show, including Dondarga Muhammad? At radio need TV be for Katre, Riasisa or no bar, or but free education for Yava. Adentia. Omampanyine na nado danko akofwado. Meno kase so anya 18 years mboa. Enti uvija dia na ohia biem owiase. Ene abrabom. But papai omampanyine ne mfia wadi nyina akiri no. Watima sora mwati. A prepare kata. Aye ne mrase. Ni koi. Adia ne besi machi. Enti bibi amedi aba. Your friend free education no. Me bon home buying and sana ma free kunyana so. Oko luke, wamu mashia nyina mrapata ho. Oko Germany, wamu mrashia nyina mrapata ho. Ano mampanyini se, me koi no, adia ye free education no. Aye anwa tempinti. Me ye mrapata ho se. Chinabi, CPP, PNC, NDC, and now party we buy one. One can free education, no, mean to me, and I may come. Oh, yes, sir, running on your lane, Benny. And on this hammer away. I go to Parliament. Parliament, you're babbing, a damo on an NDC for MPP walk. Free education, man. Women come, never say, a child party be power, on to win free education. Abamba and this is what I say. Woman free parliament in net, woman free parliament for China, the free education, man, Yaquako Jetum, and to get our more country Ghana for. What the free education over to us? And I think you duty. No more. I had to Parliament here. A cancer free education. Or people open and sign customer year free work. And I'm a criminal. A woman, Mungo Parliament, and I'm going to Samarano. NDC MPs. From Hama Catcher, NDC MPs. What catcher about Babin Samon Parliament in there. And Quachina. I'm a national chairman of NDC. That's what she should be up there. NDC MPP of the Parliament. What is Samarano? One the unity. And to get a 20 year through one point, anybody a good of here. No Kansas here, no. You our Parliament, yes, to say it to Manabay, a book free education, hope I. And this is what I say. Young Parliament in net and Quachina, and what is I'm running to. Or catch it down a portrait. She ain't mistake at the NDC bar. Free education, man, also moving to me. That's all about I'm not free education. So we be a matter of gentlemen to us. Second of all that higher. NDC bar 2009. June 2009. Last 5 minutes of the announcement to say. I want to win to be, but you'll be. Why are not so much to be so big and so be? And see, I saw free education. I'm not so bad. The more 1 year or 7 December. I'm thinking I found that too many doctors like him about me. I'm a parliamentary candidate in Nina. 276 conferences say, what more free education, no? And 2 years, 1 year, no what to say. Some conform with the about free education, and this was among Parliament, one by perfect. Papa Yammer, I am to before no, much of the California bet to my yes, I didn't January. No, never. And 1 year. Parliament, also among Queen. One of the very accurate say, appropriation bill at the summer past year. And December, I come a 4 more market here, a teacher 4, nurse 4, doctor 4, and contractor 4, and not more workers. And the public sector, for Nano. Wamakatia, wouldn't say December, you know. And now Subana and this year, then I dis among parliament, you know. He came to my 40 burn up my head, or you are aware of that.
Oh, pa.
We are aware, sir. And this parliament, no, also among and what they are population pay and tomorrow. He came to my four, and the better burn up, you know, a big delay. Now, walk it to me. Nani pana would say, won't be a matwaba more. Sister, everybody on my name kitchen here. Young Pierre to my 4,000 party. I got the 4th over and I over Chino, and yes, I'm here. Because you scan a photo between them to my name and Piamica. And this in what? Not to say, yeah, for 90 minutes a year. I different possible to mainline and say in a 90 minutes before. I'm not a baby power to us. I did it for a young one and watching it. And to me, look at it. A different net. A possible match, less piano. Ghana to my name be after piano. The normal general 7 for I'm not 7 for him because I can't do the parliament in net or parliament to a tenant. And so you kitchen. Let's have December, oh, Papa, Twaba. Oh, baby, oh, Twaba. We are listening, no, Papa, Twaba. Oh, baby, oh, Twaba. We are doctor, no, Papa, Twaba. Oh, baby, oh, Twaba. We are contract member. We are TUC member. We are TAU member. Oh, baby, oh, Twaba. 7 December. Na NDC mo Ghana to my four. One year, Juma, what's up by the Kyoka? A banner you ready some of the Manchester Parliament, and this is what a young one, young Quatinam Quatin to me to my foreca. It is a Ghana to my four, and you got to which up because of young Parliament, you know. You really knew. NDC. About where I am, what we are here, no one show you. But we are aware, yeah, she say, at the parliament, the electoral commission, I am ready to say, young here for young electoral for young some way aware, yeah. Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, no. Electoral committee and say, about 150 of the theater, the best member, and how was she done? Young Fanko, we are aware of that.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Now, after we about one, the member, and the electoral commission, and the attorney general, Ghana, buying, and another than what of one down. When you like it to say, about one, they say, theater. The same member, I'm not consider and what after your own sushi, no. I think I'm a Sunday. I think was on Sunday. I think this was Sunday. And get it and what? I can hear about a young king quarter. And some be angry. Anyhow, and Marano Quarter Parliament, you know. I'm this before. I think NG4. MP4 and the man on you
that's true.
From Clement down for club or Munyai. We are away. And the NG4 more Quatuama and Government Dano. And what some MP are buying, electoral committee are buying, and won't say what some is Yama or my Ghana. It's in theater. And come on, and Yama, my Ghana, and to remember a tea, a buying MPP, a buying, and she said, and the electoral commission say, a government done and give for, and you are the one to that, and one almost to not to be, and this is what say, and give for, and MPP for, and to the young man in Tono, to a buyer, I'm an MPP, and the idea over Biano. On December, oh, baby, or Tonabaco. Once I'm going to commit to near the Parliament. I'm not told that I'm filming that. Dianimu, Esmicas and the for the family and people for. And to a man for Tuaba, Diana by him for more. And the for a Basramo. Doing that. Among Akaya Satrao, among Akaya and tell me Dia or Tiba Piano or Yanasum Via. Oh, what did it say? And this is one of my dinner teacher. One of my subjects, only done what water. Almost 1 Tiafino, and here for MPA, one and what water and Tiao. Because I didn't know what you know, and your papa. I know about that kind of time, you always have a press conference and the I know a video quite clear. Man for dear. Come on, respond to that little rat. Yes. Come on, respond to that little rat. And now, Chicago, I'm a reality. I ought to keep my son quiet and get in. What dear? Woman, Sam said, or no media press conference, quite vomiting. In Ghana politics in 20 years ago, woman says Sammy Gyamfy is no class. Woman says the cheap enemy. Now, I need Dia or one answer piano. Let's a Nino or Nini Dia. Some Bia Nini Bacano or Patrick with fact any evidence. And I'm a boy.
Yeah.
Malasi. What's the kum. Oji budget to free one more for Crabella. Or real to go then into one the budget to qua. Sammy Gyamfy and this now or yet the thing now. Why you say come? And I want fully soldiers in the soda or yet press conference about one can say Sammy Gyamfy a bit tired. I get our home. One more the year of the quarter school one copy. Until the school now, or soon young a press conference. Not Chicago, Mahama, Riano, or one of the Diana Gapadi. No, I'm getting to full soldiers. Watch now, ask yourself. Sammy Gyamfy on 6 tower. And you go so by the Bonano. Now, Monka James, a member for convoy, and Coco. I found out about how you know when you enter a gun for the press conference.
Tommy.
Oh yeah, announcement or Banda. Oh yeah, announcement or Owenty or Basunano West or Basunano Isia or Batuana and Kura and the Kino machine at almost a beer and Kraten. Now, why are Sammy Gyamfy to the Bakono? I feel look at the Aquamita convoy, maybe, or National Camera. Why, Poppy original BIA? I saw. Sammy Gyamfy convoy, that also tell me power or Shiao. And this is General Secretary, and it's a convoy. Language be a two. No, General, and this is General Secretary Granby. And the convoy and Quando to train, and the Sunano West, and it's for Shiao. Now, Obogana and of faith of Abono, only as a temple. Obama and this year, Kunima. Miguel won't commit you what say. Talk about the year of Bono region, Milano. All post to on the plate, so. All post to about Bono region, I want to Apostle Peter Makora.
I'm here to say it.
I want to say on the plate, so. Why a press conference to say about Bono all kind of one, and I'm a boy.
Yeah.
What to Sammy Gyamfy page? Bono Toma or Koyano. Only living pictures here. And then let's open my beer, you show, and my mom phones over how I'm a boy. And Kia Probo, oh, yeah, what did you say to Mama Berry? Woman, show pictures in Channel. Now, what the hell? No, I can't hear me say. Only from. But I took a small say, Baba, dear, the new papier. And you know, that's a new, yeah, let's go away or rating. Let's walk on Murray. And it's all I can say. Abronye tears me I was soon. And you were so conquo. I did not push us about the power or I and many because no kind of metal. Our rate here on 0.1% growing. And the parliamentary candidates are watching on me. Yabuko won't see what I am already now. What a ton supply. Sammy Gyamfy supply. Lababia to near Messi. Over not the buy a door for chain. And Nipa or what's your our banda. When T. Sunana West. Time. Sunani East. Omisano. I'm swapping something. Who am I alone in motion? You call my thing. What I'm alone in motion? You call my thing. Oh, now what? But now, Princess Trump can get out. What's an also a man of wire day? I hate him. I took on my man one day. None of them come out. And none of them look at the ground. Focus on power. No for power. No, can't do that.
Me wa Kwasi. Ana, I'm this for by ya. That says I'm no friend or say town hall meeting on say Prempa Assembly Hall. So no ne boss ne Kojobonsu. Yeah. Ana Samre Samuel Sapon na ye regional minister. Ana Kojobonsu ye kia me boss. Omienu no nka. Enti omo pa afa plan say ne mbekọ kogu Samuel Sapon ni mu ase obedwam. Me no be ka chem say Sammy Gyamfy say opani pa bia mama kobisa Samuel Sapon question ama no ho akire no. Am say ne mo ya ndisi fo ana mo po bia kogu mu ho ni mu ase na me de adwuma we de metimi aye. Ye ko no fie wo patase. Ye ko no ni ye tena ase. Sammy Gyamfy me osi me bua me na me ka say movement television so. Ye ko Sammy Gyamfy fie wo patase. Stronger than appetite. Eno se me mpa nipa me enu nka me ho. Na monye den. Na ye nko busa Samuel Sapon question a e be me ni magu ase. Sammy Gyamfy. Ana so dey no problem be ye. Ana me charge no. Ana me frame cruise ne bo mama ne. Ana me say be ye. Na ye ko du ha no pa no. Ye ko du Premier Assembly ha no pa. Ko busa question mo dey. Why na adwen say ye nwie na me say da roka say ye nkwada. Ye nko busa question ni nyansa na dey sika bre. Masa me ye nko. O ha no dim nika no tu ka no call bank. No ko yi sika no bre. Okoyi sika no bre ye ni agie. E Sammy Gyamfy bo mo pass. E bo ye pass. Ye nko gu Samuel Sapon ni mu ase. That regional minister. Ba Kojobonsu na mba yes o say adwuma no. Kojobonsu that no ya Kumasi mayor. Okay. Enti ye kwa ye du say ye twetwe ni ye bi du question time no. Wo mo hunu me no say me wo ho no. Afa no nyina at shop because me as a end this program. O ye me dan o che diamond kra me ma ho. Enti du say me wo ma no go mo ho ni ase. Enye sika no percent na me koye. But wo mo ho go mo ho ni ase. Na wo interest and mu gwasi go no. Enti me koduru ho no afa ye kodila no so na bedru mi so a. O say answer we. Enti o person mo twa fam ho nti. Obo answer third question na mkojina na mkoje microphone say mo bi sam question ni yapon. Me so maba. Na be se na ade mu odu kakra. Na odu. Ana fa so mbusa question no. It's a movement. Ana o say aja, bra won so busa ade. Na me de regional minister nti na mbae. Timbe busa no question, na me bisa. Na busa no. Na me regional minister. Echi excavators. And so kai question no kra. Ya chi excavators free ram di bakromu a. 2 weeks excavators no say akọ. Eden excavators no committee say China for you 200 million. Na dia momoko. Just galamse ho asem. Galamse asem. Galamse question. Na me nkobisa. Okay. 2. Na ni boy bi wo ni wadi bi ase no ye nadmo coordinator. Ma China de da. Robert. Na ono regional minister no wo galamse site ho boy no na hwe so. Ekodu ba na o mo say. Me say boy ni makoda. Okay. Ekodu ba bi o ma ye kwakire boy no say asem no ba ye no. Eno ma ye kwakire boy no eno twe ne ho firi ho ena mbusa ne se Robert na wo ma ye kwakire no no makoda no mabusa no wo se site ne ye wo dia so adenti na wo akwaje site wo ye galamse na wo de akoda akotoa no na asem no ba ye de watwe ho ma ya kire akoda no afiri ne dem ho ye from asem ho ni pegu ho firi o ma ne bo ama to wona na che MCO che program no amkikum tibu mo afiri I'm say a question no dey obi am say question bi so ma hu say cruise mi no nso di machi yeah obi am say question no bi na ade ya Galamsey the NDA that committee bi a mo hwe nti we de munya botre mai ho na mfrem se masa ye nsa ka esika mo mienko ena pu a ye de pie ne ko
ena masa ya adwuma no so
ya adwuma no wo Sammy Gyamfy be ka kire obi soja panin so ye miscreant Sammy Gyamfy Rattle Park wo Kumasi sika Sammy Gyamfy wi a wo ho ena odi ko bie pub wo KNUS wo Sammy Gyamfy kro no a wo bo no Kumasi ena no pa na ka se MPP for na join DC for ena manya no keka kwa asem kire Ghana for wo Sammy Gyamfy abaka so be a miscreant kro no a wo bo no KMA ena wanya ba bia ginenti obi soja pani a wono wakodi ni soja afamu a de na ko enkurase ne ye de na ko tutu wure maba a wo ye na djuma no so e miscreant tiase mo ya sa na je se mo di nkwase asem a na asoja fo na ka se ye ko kan won be ka se MPP fo achi mo di nkwase ma soja fo no be bumo on the day of election obi apa oni nkwase bo Ghana ha na sa santimante mu na ka soja fo no de ntino mu go wa etu omuka obobo ma no ho ban eni se odi nkwase asem a eba mo man bambo eso ate anase ho beti chima o mo mfa ho nchew.
All right, na interesting. Me nya messages be from 5 police officers and 2 SU military officers. Almost say my high ho. Na Sammy Gyamfy no opa odo o meye